Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am back here with my good friend Jacob.
Hello.
And today, we're talking art.
Oh yeah.
We're talking art. We're gonna talk about our favorite video game box art. I actually originally intended to talk about our favorite album covers, but I was like, I kind of want to also see what his favorite video game box art is. So probably do another video talking about our favorite album covers. But in the meantime, we're talking about games.
Something I can get down with.
Something you can get down with. So you want to start, or should I start?
Why don't you? You got them out at the ready.
So yeah, I'll show these on the screen too. That's why I'm trying to make sure there's a good amount of space between us. But first one, because I'm a fanboy, borderline fanboy, is the Halo 3. Now, I like this one a whole lot because, well, for some reason, like the sunset. A sunset is always a good thing for me. I don't know what it is. Like playing games on the Atari 2600 and I see just a sunset in the game. It feels good. It feels good.
Joy.
It brings joy. And like the sunset in Halo 3 with Master Chief here, it felt like this is Halo.
It almost feels like a beacon of hope as the night's coming over.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
Right.
And I was debating on putting Halo 2 on this as well because I love that shot of Master Chief with the two SMGs. Mm-hmm. But I gotta say, man, this one is just phenomenal. I remember when I couldn't play this, I remember like just staring at the back of the box. And this is when I was like, I had to hide myself from playing these games from my parents. So when they were around, I just had to look at it.
Yeah, you couldn't be playing it.
But
so you could stare and envy.
I could stare at it, and also feel that manual. They don't do that anymore.
Oh, it's a physical copy. It's not some digital download.
There's a bunch of really just like
cool lore.
Even though it's all like really unnecessary. Not all of it, but a lot of it's kind of unnecessary. It's just like it's cool to have there's a section like where they just talk about the basics of like matchmaking.
Yeah, but they also go in on depth on the characters and give you a little background to everybody too.
And it's
not something that you get nowadays.
I do wish manuals made a comeback.
Right?
Because it's just I don't know. Even though I'll be honest, I don't really read through manuals that much. I just I figure out a game on my own. But it's really fun to every once in a while I'll break out Oblivion, which has a pretty sweet manual, and you just open it up and it's just
an entire Bible of lore hidden away in there.
Exactly. Well, what do you got for your first pick?
For my first pick, I'm gonna go with Lost Planet. It encapsulates how hostile that game really is. I mean, you got Wayne standing there with his AR, slung over his shoulder, and behind him is just hordes of aliens and battle mechs and a blizzard, and you got hiding in the blizzard his final mech, the one that he gets into to kill
the Green Eye, right?
Yeah, and he has, and that mech was just, that whole game was just awesome. But
that is such an underrated series.
Right.
The first two games are excellent. I never played the third one. I just by the time it came out, it was just too late.
Right.
And I heard it wasn't very good. And I've seen gameplay of it. I haven't played it, but just judging by the gameplay, yeah, it looks pretty lame.
Right. This series died when 2 had 4 years in and they still hadn't released the third.
Yeah. That's when I remember I didn't even think there was going to be a 3.
Right.
I thought 2 was it.
Well, they finished it. They didn't really finish it, but you got to see everybody's different perspective playing through it too.
All the different factions.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Nevik. That was I love Nevik so much.
Yeah, they're really
so
cool.
Sweet. But I remember because you see that because you kill literally every faction kills the Cat G, the big one.
Right.
I don't remember what it was called. It's been so long since I've played those games.
They were Category Gs.
Yeah, the Cat G.
They all have different names. Acrid?
Acrid, yeah. Man, I remember it was so weird. The first time ever playing Lost Planet, I actually played the online multiplayer first.
Oh man!
My dad and his friend were playing, and I joined in, and it was fun. But I remember I really want to try out the campaign.
Right.
Where I want to see all these acrid and aliens and all that stuff.
How it all blends together with like the mechanics of, you know, you have your energy and you have the different types of grenades that all do different effects. And
I thought that was one of the coolest parts about Lost Planet was all the different grenade variations.
And I really like how they flushed out the thermal energy system in 2 as well.
Yeah, like
2's cover is pretty good, but I didn't want to pick 2 for one game, so I really liked just the whole gameplay with the thermal energy and how you could like shoot it at your friendlies if they needed it and stuff like that.
It was funny. I remember like if we'd go online, and like most people would stick to normal, but when you get to hard, like people were like killing each other for thermal energy. It was a bit. It was like, okay, guys,
calm it down.
Let's take it down a bit. But we didn't. That was actually one game you and I didn't play a whole lot together. I think when I found out you had it, like the servers were already kind of
cut.
Yeah. Which really sucks because that game is so much fun with friends.
It is.
Every once in a while, do a system link with someone. We gotta do that.
We gotta do that.
We gotta do that at
That'll
some
be so
point.
fun.
It's weird though. Like I remember, like looking on the back of the box, I'm like, is there 2 split screen co-op on this?
On 2.
On 2, but I'm like, I could never figure out how to do it.
I don't think that there was on 1. Was there?
No, there was not.
Yeah.
On 1.
But on 2 there was. I don't know how you did it either.
I remember like because you look on the back of the box and it'd say like 1 to 2 players. I'm like, where's the split screen?
It's hiding.
But that was, man, Lost Planet. I spent so many hours in Lost Planet 2, especially trying to get all the weapons.
Oh yeah, because you got like the drops at the end of every category G fight.
Yeah. Speaking of like, those were like loot boxes.
Loot boxes, but they were fun loot boxes. You don't have to buy them.
You don't have to buy them. This is when games were free.
Right.
Free.
I mean, that was just a really cool way of doing it, though. You kill a boss, and all of a sudden, there's 15 boxes or 50 even.
Yeah, and you'd have to run around and collect them.
And then you spend the in-game currency to unlock them.
I remember that being just frustrating me so much because I always got nicknames.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want a nickname.
I don't care about this.
I want a weapon.
Right.
I can make my own name. Thank you very much.
I'm paying $60 a year for a nickname.
But that was really. I mean, both of those. If you haven't played Lost Planet 1 or 2, pick them up. They're dirt cheap.
Right.
They're. I mean, 360 and PS3 games are dirt cheap right now. Pick them up while you can because I think actually, if people do catch on to those games, I think they will go up in price.
That's true. It'd be kind of cool to see like a re-release too.
Like I would love to see an HD version of either one.
Right.
Probably the first one because that's the one I think I played that a little bit more. But Lost Planet 1, excellent game, excellent cover. I guess
Thank you.
Excellent choice, my friend.
Thank you.
I think I'll go with my next decision. Now, I'm going to definitely show a picture of this because there's no way you're going to be able to see it. But this is Missile Command for the Atari 2600. And I want to start off by saying that the Atari box art is absolutely phenomenal. Just look at that. You got like this dude who looks like a stormtrooper straight out of Star Wars. He's like in the Death Star. Some like
pushing some buttons.
Yeah.
Flicking a knob.
Some waitress behind him just wondering what the hell he's doing.
Can I bring you anything to drink, sir? Shut up! I'm launching
missiles. Blowing up missiles! Now, Missile Command is actually a really cool game. It's so you're basically defending. So there's missiles that fall down. You shoot missiles at them. They explode, but it's really hard. Like especially if you play the arcade machine, it's got like a trackball and everything. It's really sweet.
That sounds hard. But
it's hard,
really
but it's
cool.
really fun. And on it, like I had a hard time picking my favorite Atari box art because they're all excellent. I have a lot of them hanging up in my room. I'll have to show you after we're done with this. But they have like just incredible box art, and that's how a lot of the games were sold. You'd buy them like, wow, doesn't this look amazing?
Sweet.
And you get home, it's a dot.
And you're like, what the fuck?
What the hell is this shit? But hey, it was in the 70s. People didn't really care yet.
Right.
This is when you had to use your imagination in gaming.
You had to figure out what could this game possibly be by looking at it.
Yeah, you would you'd be in like some aircraft, you'd drop a white square, and you'd call that a bomb.
It's very visually represented by a square.
Yeah. How just... But yeah, I had a hard choice between this one and Yar's Revenge. That's another excellent cover for that game. But yes, not a whole lot to say about this one. It's just, when you see it on screen, it looks gorgeous. If you've ever had a chance to see it in person, you know how gorgeous it is. It's got that.
It is really cool.
It's got like that, and it's got like a 70s art style too, or 80s actually. That you never see this. You're never gonna see this ever again.
No.
This is the last time like in television, Atari and ColecoVision in some regards all had just really incredible box art. I should have brought that book down. I have a book called Art of Atari, and there's like nice full-page spreads of the covers. It's so sweet.
That sounds really cool.
I think
You'll
I'll have to
show me that.
I'm definitely gonna have to show. I'll probably do a video on that because it's so awesome.
Just that one book.
Just one book, yeah. But you there, guy?
My second choice has got to be BioShock. Just the first one. I mean, it really gives you almost like a bad feeling looking at it. Like, you know something bad's about to happen when you put that game in, and boy, oh boy, it sure goes to shit quick.
I remember, I mean, those first 10 minutes of BioShock are, I think, some of the best in gaming, if you ask me.
Right.
And I remember, like, looking at the box art, and you see the little sister.
Yeah, with her needle right
and you're like,
right next to his leg, and you're like, what the hell?
What is that?
Right.
And like, you see,
and he's got the big drill for an arm.
That is what, you know what? In BioShock 2, when you could play as the Big Daddy, I think I used the drill more than anything.
Right.
That's all I wanted to use when I first played the game.
So cool. But I gotta say, like, just looking at that cover, you can tell that something bad is happening here, and you can kind of get the impression too that it is underwater. You can't tell for sure, but there's puddles everywhere. Everything's domed off by glass. You know, you can almost make out different areas of Rapture from the glass, like from the window.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't tell for sure that it's underwater just by looking at it, but you know, the puddle in there shows that something bad's about to happen, which obviously it does. It starts to flood, and
I mean, you have to put it together, like, there's like a dome and there's water on the ground. That doesn't make any sense. Like,
right, but then you can't see the sky or any stars. And
it's just,
it starts piecing together.
I think that's a really cool cover. I was actually telling him about this earlier. I do have a Big Daddy figure in storage somewhere. I know, like, it's in my storage unit. I know where it is. I totally should have brought it out, but like, seriously, I thought that was. And when I was younger, I admired the Big Daddies, just like their arts, just the way they looked.
They were freaky. They were intimidating.
It was
by the look.
It was intimidating, creepy, but it was also just like, that is sweet.
Badass.
That is badass. Yeah, exactly. It's been like, how can you have a drill and like, by the way, their hands are like.
Oh, mine would be like a baby's
hand. Yeah, ours are like
baby.
baby's hands compared to their hands. Like, I'm just like, what the hell? It was just incredible. It's a hell of a sight to see, most definitely. And honestly, like, if we're talking, I think BioShock 1 and 2, like, that's BioShock to me.
Right.
Okay, like, Infinite is a great game, phenomenal game. But when I think of BioShock, I think of Rapture, I think of Big Daddies. I don't really think of Cloud City.
No, they're definitely like different, you know. Yeah. There's a key difference between the two, and even in gameplay, it just.
Oh yeah, especially in Infinite. It's
right.
Totally different than the first two. But you know, again, Infinite is not a bad game, but it's just like when I think BioShock, I think Big Daddies.
Roaming around
Rapture. Yeah.
And what are they called? The Little Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those
creepy. Those boss fights were brutal.
Yeah,
especially like I remember like the first one. I had so much trouble with him, and like they do that, like that drill charge at you, and he just like kills you almost instantly.
Oh, that's such a horrible thing to watch too.
Oh, yeah.
God, it's hard to watch that.
I love that.
Drilled from the gut.
And then not only that, but like he gets like his skull gets pushed through the window.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Like not only does he drill him, but he kills him and then puts him through the window.
Throws his ass. I'm done with him.
Yeah. Okay, well, my Audacity just stopped, so...
It's okay. We have some troubles.
Yeah, there's always some fucking shit up here. But, so yeah, that was Bioshock. That was the cover of Bioshock, I should say. Excellent game. Really cool cover. Actually, I have, now that I think about it.
You have a
I'm gonna have
for it? Oh, yes, you do.
Well, this is for Bioshock.
Oh, yes.
I have the collector's edition of Bioshock 1 too, but I like this one better. This is the collector's edition of Bioshock 2. Comes with a vinyl record, which, by the way, funny story. I totally forgot I had the vinyl record for the Bioshock soundtrack until like about a month ago, and then I listened to it.
Criminal.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a failure. I'm sorry. But it comes with an art book, which, by the way, this art book, I used to stare at it all the time. I remember I would go downstairs and just look at it for like hours. You get posters in here that are just like straight out of Rapture, like straight out of the 1940s and 50s.
Oh yeah, you can see a few of them there on the back. Yeah.
Yeah. You also get a CD of Bioshock 2. Both have excellent soundtracks, and like this thing is huge. It weighs. Whoa! It's got some weight to it, but it's really cool. Yeah, Bioshock. Excellent. I do think that, you know what, we should probably jam to some music here. Music. Now, music. Now, the last one I want to talk about is a very simple one, but it just says, like, you know what you're getting into it.
You look at it and you know.
That's the first Quake. Obviously, you can't tell from there, but Quake, like, the first Quake is a very gothic, horror-style game. Very influential for, like, I mean, you have, like, medieval themes in this. You have science, like, a little bit of science fiction elements in this. A little bit of satanic.
Oh, yeah.
It's made by id, so it's not shocking at all. But, like, you open this up, too, and I'll try to remember if I can put this in the footage, but it's, like, out of Nine Inch Nails. It's like a Nine Inch Nails album, which isn't surprising if you know that the music was composed by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails. But yeah, this cover is just it's just so simple, but there's like simplicity done right.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of box arts that I feel the need that, you know, they want to be like the most complex thing ever,
right.
Or in some cases they just, you know, have like a boring shot of their character on the cover. Like, as much as I love Battlefield, like, 3 and 4, I think those covers are pretty lame.
They're lacking, for
yeah.
sure.
It's just like, okay.
I mean, pretty much all the Battlefields after, or 3 and beyond, are just like a dude looking at you.
Yeah.
It's just, and even, like, Call of Duty, you know?
Oh, God. I think Call of Duty is the most guilty of it. Every single game, I think after Call of Duty 4... It's literally just a shot of like a dude running and holding a gun.
Right.
I think almost every single one, but like that's like the same theme. It's like, can you try something different?
Hit me with something a little bit more intriguing.
Even if I don't know, you got like one dude in assless chaps running around on the battlefield. I'm like, I want to buy that just to see that.
I'm
buying it just to see that.
Better be in the game though. They can't just tease you with the cover.
Yeah, you can't exactly. It's false advertising. But like Quake, like I was also gonna pick Final Fantasy, but the Japanese versions of the Final Fantasy games. They have this really cool. It's just their text and a kind of not a doodle, but it's like a drawing. But that's all it is. But it works.
Okay.
Final Fantasy V, so it has Final Fantasy V on here, but then it has like a dragon in the background. But it's like a blue, clear dragon. It's just like. It's simple, but it's done really well. It kind of just... Like, there's a lot of things I could relate to. Like, when you see it, like, yeah, there's just as much for complex box art. You know, there's just as much to be said for complex box art as there is for simplistic.
Right. It gets its point across.
Yes. But there's also a point where it's like, when there's too complex, and, like, you just, like, you look at it and your head hurts. Like, oh my god, why am I looking at this? But then, like that, and that's just like its attitude. I don't know, for some reason, like when I see this, I'm like, I'm gonna be killing some medieval villains, some like gothic creatures straight out of like a Lovecraft book. But it's just like it just works.
It just works.
It just works. That's all I got. Look, I'm not a fucking art critic. Okay, it just looks good. Now, what's your
Now, running off the topic of being too complex, I'm gonna hit you with GTA 4's cover art.
Yes.
Because as a kid, you're not supposed to be playing those games, and
we never played those games. What are you saying?
Never.
We didn't play those games. We didn't play those games. Come on.
But when your dad's out there playing the game, you can at least look at the cover for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that just captivated my interest. Like there's so many different scenes going on in that one cover.
And like it's really cool too. Like everything that's on the cover shows up in the game.
Right.
Like at least in terms of like action wise, like you'll see like a car blowing up and like obviously that's gonna be in there. But like it gives you like an idea. Like I remember first seeing like Grand Theft Auto 4's cover, and I was like, this is just so bizarre.
I mean, you got like little Jacob over in the corner.
Yeah.
Holding up a Glock, and you're like, what's he doing over there?
And what does he got?
You got the hooker.
Yeah, the hook. Yeah, you got the hooker. Yeah.
You got Nico hanging out the helicopter with the sniper.
Isn't he? I think he makes 2 appearances on the cover.
I think so. He might be the biker too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's one of those. Speaking of biker, Lost and Damned DLC.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun. But
so cool. Wasn't it Johnny that you play as? Or?
Johnny, yeah, he died. It was funny seeing him show up in GTA 5 and just get killed right off the bat. But yeah, that was really funny. I always thought Grand Theft Auto had really cool box art.
It's on that line where it's complex, like it's convoluted. It's got a lot there for you to look at, but it's not like overbearing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just showing you a bunch of stupid shit that you don't really care about. It's like, this is cool. What the hell am I going to see in the game if I'm looking at this on the cover? All of it's in there.
Yeah, it's like a comic book in a way.
Right, it has that style.
It has a style to it, but like it also like kind of tells a very loose story. At least that's how I always thought. You can look at it and like, okay, well, you look at the cover. These are bad people.
Right.
These are thugs. They're terrible people, but we're going to be playing as them, and it's going to be awesome.
You know it right away.
Yeah. Where does he keep those RPGs?
He pulls them out of the back end somewhere.
That was always one of our famous talking points in middle school. But
he must have been in prison for a while to be able to store that much.
Well, if you got it, I got killed more than I got arrested playing those games. Not gonna lie. Do you remember? I swear, it's horrible to say this, but when we would die, we would just spawn cheats, go into the hospital,
yes,
massacre
everybody,
and then have a police shootout. It's horrible, but it's just like it's fun.
It's one of the best places to do
a whole shootout. Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
they got one choke point in. That's it.
And they just keep wandering on in. And I think every cop in GTA 4 was fat.
Oh yeah, there was like hardly any skinny ones. Like the 95% spawn rate for fat asses.
Yeah.
To come blubbering in with their pistol. The only skinny ones were the SWAT guys. There was not SWAT.
Yeah, and then this when the SWAT showed up, that's when you were screwed.
Yep.
It's really weird. Like I remember we would try so hard to get 6 stars.
Oh god.
And we would never make it. Like
once you hit 5, it's so hard to get 6.
Hard. I mean, I figured out like later on that if you just go and like kill more pedestrians, like just get in a car and just floor it down the sidewalk, then you have a good chance of getting 6 stars.
You rack it up pretty quick.
Yeah, but then after that, you're gonna get killed almost instantly.
There's like 5 helicopters, all with AR gunmen shooting snipers down at you. Yeah, your car's fucked. Yeah,
that thing is totally screwed. But I think like my favorite GTA box art would be Vice City. It's a very 1980s. I mean, that game is set in the 80s.
Right.
And I love the 80s art style. It's literally like if you took Atari box art, gave it a mature theme, and put it on like a PlayStation 2 cover. That's like what it would be. And it works really. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. But
I like the color scheme a lot for Vice City.
It's a gorgeous game. Like even though that game is like the graphics are certainly dated, but it's just like it still like looks good.
It's appealing. I mean.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to put it. Like, I have a very soft spot for graphics from like the year 1995 to like 2004, 2003. Like, it's like that's when 3D was like still, it was still coming into its own. It was definitely not perfected.
Right.
We had a lot of there was a lot of games from that era that you go back and play and you're like, oh my god, what happened?
How is this 3D? What is going on here?
But it's still like charming. It's like, but that's how it was. I don't know how else to put it. If you could think of a different way to put it.
No, it's exactly that. It was charming.
Yeah.
It left a sweet taste in your mouth.
Well,
did you have a fourth one or just the?
I mean, I could literally go on.
Yeah, I guess we better keep it at 3.
We better keep it at 3 each. And I definitely want to do this another time. Like I said, we should do this for album covers too.
Yes, I'm so down. I got a few I can already think of, but
Want to do that next?
Another video. Gotta catch us on the next one.
Catch us on the next one. Same back time, same Fireball Jack time, same Fireball Jack channel. Alright, I'm done with this crap. That was a horrible way to end a video, but...
Alright. Well, see you guys in the next one.
Thanks for joining me as always.
You're welcome.
We'll see you guys later.